They once ruled the world from behind the veil of myth, not as glowing spirits, but as beings of flesh and bone who lived for thousands of years. The people called them gods, but time has a way of erasing even legends. It began in the last years of the Bronze Age, when the world was still young, and the sea gods, the warlords, and the prophets ruled side by side. In a hidden valley beyond Delphi, there stood a sanctuary known only as Elysian, a place untouched by war, where the last of the immortals hid from the rise of men. Among them was Zephyra, once worshipped as the goddess of the winds. Her face was weathered by centuries, her eyes pale as storm clouds. She no longer commanded the skies. She could only feel the dying whispers of the wind she once ruled. The others had changed too. Ares, once a raging god of battle, now walked with a limp. His body scarred from wars, he no longer had the strength to fight. Athena, the strategist, lived in silence, surrounded by books no mortal could read, trying to understand how their power had vanished. And Poseidon, stripped of his command over the seas, had built a small hut beside a dried-up spring, where he waited for the tides that never came. They were gods in name only, relics of an age that humanity had chosen to forget. One evening, as the last light faded from the horizon, Zephyra gathered them beneath the olive trees of Elysian. "The faith of mortals is gone," she said softly. "Without it, we cannot last another century." Ares clenched his fists. "Then we take it back. We remind them who we are." Athena looked at him sadly. "And how?" "They no longer believe in thunder or prophecy. They believe in science, in men who fly without wings, who wield fire without gods." Poseidon's voice was rough as gravel. "They will believe again when the sea takes them." But Zephyra shook her head. "There is still one who remembers." They stared at her. "In the hills of Delphi," she said, "there lives a boy, Lycus. He was born with our blood. His mother was one of us, one who loved a mortal. He may be the last bridge between our world and theirs." Ares frowned. "And what makes you think this boy can save us?" Zephyra closed her eyes. "Because the fates still whisper his name." That night, beneath the ruins of an ancient temple, Lycus dreamed. In his sleep, he saw faces he did not know. A woman of storms, a man with eyes like fire, a sea that called his name. When he awoke, the air was thick with the scent of salt, and the wind spoke a word he had never heard before: Elysian. Far away, thunder rolled over a cloudless sky. In the valley, Zephyra looked up and felt the air tremble. The old power was moving again, something vast, something ancient. And deep below the earth, in chambers sealed for millennia, an iron door began to crack open. A shadow stirred behind it, slow, deliberate, and furious. The time of silence was over, to be continued in part 2.